Rogue Sun, issue number 14 from Image Comics. So, in the last issue, Dylan fought Caleb in order to try to get his body back. Caleb used some kind of powers to send Dylan away, and Dylan wakes up in this weird meadow where his dad is at. And that's how this issue starts. It starts with Dylan just walking around this meadow, trying to get away from his dad, Marcus. And Marcus is telling him, like, hey, there's no concept of time here. There's no concept of direction. No matter which direction you go, you're going to end up like right back here. So we might as well talk to each other and figure out how to get out of here. Or at least figure out how to get you out of here before problems show up. And that problem turns out to be a giant Viking rogue son who wants to send Dylan's soul to the other side, kind of like the Valkyries did. And meanwhile, Ari, Dylan's half-sister, is brought back into the house, and she's been staying with her grandmother, Marcus's mom, who has a conversation with Marcus's widow. It's weird because she kind of comes across as this rich, pompous woman, like this woman who comes from money. But Marcus didn't come from money. He married into wealth. So did Marcus's mom get the money from the widow? From Marcus's second wife? I don't know. I'm just kind of wondering, like, why does she's depicted as like royalty, basically. She kind of has like that pompous attitude that you see from stereotypical like rich people. But Marcus didn't come from money, so I'm kind of wondering about that. Anyways, yeah, she seems to not have the best relationship with Marcus's wife. She also seems to believe that Marcus should have had like a parade and stuff when he died. Like, people should have recognized what he did for them. And she's not a fan of the fact that Marcus's rogue son identity was never revealed. There's also just this weird moment where we see like a rogue son like bust, but the physics of it don't make any sense. Like, how is his head just kind of floating on the shoulders? Whatever. So Caleb decides to get drunk and decides like, hey, things need to change. I fought the forces of evil. I died, and it didn't seem like my death had any kind of meaning. Like, it didn't seem like I made any difference. I thought I was going to make a difference. I thought people would remember me and like what I did, but no one did. And I watched the same thing happen to the next guy and the next guy and the next guy. And now things have to change. He's also the one that sent the Viking rogue son to get Dylan and send him on to the next life. So yeah, he basically sent a previous rogue son after the spirit of Dylan so he can take him to whatever the afterlife is for rogue sons. That way Dylan can never come back and reclaim his body. So not only did he send Dylan away like temporarily, he's sending him away permanently. Caleb is basically going to turn evil. He's already made that switch, which is just very, very quick. I mean, the last issue, we literally had Caleb doing good. And now all of a sudden, he's like going down the wrong path immediately. And that's kind of a shame, because I would have liked to see, like, don't get me wrong. I know Caleb isn't going to stay as a rogue son. I mean, this is Dylan's story. So obviously Dylan's going to get his body back at some point. And the best way to do that would be to have Caleb stumble and, start going down the wrong path. I would have liked to see a slow burn in Caleb going down the wrong path. Like, maybe we see Caleb sticking by his ways, his values, and then he realized that times have changed. Like, it's been like, 1,000 or so years since he was a rogue son. People have obviously changed. Society has changed. And it would have been nice to see, like, his ways don't work anymore. And Dylan, while Dylan's ways didn't make any sense to Caleb, Dylan had the right idea. And, Caleb starts to maybe not necessarily go evil, but the more he goes, the more he starts, like, maybe he starts doing good at first, and then slowly that good starts to unravel as he realizes that, oh man, my ways aren't working anymore. I can't be the rogue son. And then that's when Dylan like shows up and redeems himself and shows that he truly deserves to be the rogue son. Something like that would have been more interesting rather than oh, Caleb is a good guy. Ah, never mind. He's going to turn to evil now. I didn't really care for that. So, yeah, anyways, Marcus and Dylan team up to fight the Viking dude. And eventually they teleport themselves away. And Marcus is basically like, hey, like, I know you don't like me, but we have to team up. Just temporarily put our differences aside. There's someone who we have to meet, someone who I don't want to meet. I don't want anything to do with this person, but they might be able to help you out. They might be able to like know a way to get you back into your body. I'm not going to spoil who that is, but I will say that I'm hoping, fingers crossed, I'm hoping that Dylan meeting this person is going to make him realize that, you know, him and his dad, Marcus, have something in common. I'm pretty sure that just gave away what it was. And that this will help Dylan grow into a better person. I'm hoping that something happens for Dylan to grow. Because we are 14 issues in, and Dylan is still the same. And I've kept saying this with every issue. Every issue, I'm like, okay, I hope Dylan learns from this mistake and he becomes a better person. Okay, I'm hoping from this, Dylan is going to start changing his ways. Oh, it looks like Dylan is changing his ways. He's going to start improving. No, never mind, he's not. And I've just had the rug pulled out from under me so many times that until I see it, I'm not going to believe it. I get it. Like, obviously, you don't want to, you know, have your character go through this huge character arc, you know, really quickly. But we're 14 issues in. It's been over a year that we've been with this series, and Dylan hasn't improved in any ways in terms of his character growth. So, yeah, there's a difference between a slow burn and there's a difference between, okay, we're doing turtle time here. We are just dragging ass when it comes to this change. Just have it happen already, for God's sake. So, yeah, hopefully Dylan starts changing and becomes a better person from this. I don't know. Meanwhile, Ari, you know, since she's back in the house, she goes to meet Dylan, and she apologizes for trying to steal the Sunstone and saying, like, hey, I think you need a mentor. I know Dad hated his mentor, but it saved his life a few times. And Dylan, or I should say Caleb, in Dylan's body, basically says, like, you know, I think we both know that Dad should have chosen you because, you know, you don't let your emotions get in the way of your judgments. I'm going to need someone like you around. And then he leaves to go fight crime, and she seems to notice that he's been drinking. I'm hoping that Ari is smart enough to realize that something's wrong with Dylan. I mean, there's been signs there. The fact that Dylan isn't holding what Ari did against her. The fact that Dylan's the one that brought her back. The fact that Dylan referred to Marcus as, you know, father. I mean, he did say your father, but he would have just said Marcus or something like that. The fact that he's been drinking. Like, I'm hoping Ari is smart enough to realize, okay, this is either not Dylan or something is wrong. Like, he's under some kind of spell or something, because Dylan doesn't act like this. I guess we'll see. But, yeah. All in all, I will say this has been an okay issue. Anyone who's read some of my other stuff when it comes to Rogue Sun, you know I've had huge problems with this series. I've absolutely hated most of it. There have been some times where it's done some really great things. Or maybe only once it's really done something really great. And that was the Choose Your Own Adventure issue. That one was awesome. Other than that, it's felt like a lot of wasted potential. And this one still kind of feels a little bit like that. In the sense that Caleb's descent into evil happens way too quickly, in my opinion. We literally go from an issue where he's doing good to now he's doing evil. Like, he literally does evil in this issue. And it's like, all right, that was just a quick 180. So I would have preferred a more slower burn in that regard. It's funny because this series seems to have a pacing issue, which is something that all the Massive Verse stuff seem to have, minus Infernal Girl Red. That one actually doesn't have any problems with the pacing. But I've talked about this with Radiant Black as well, where it drags certain things way too long that don't need to be dragged. And then things that could be stretched out a little bit and have a slower burn get wrapped up way too quickly. And Rogue Sun is kind of falling into that. The Caleb descent into evil should be stretched out a lot longer. At least drag it out for a few issues or something. Not just go from one issue to the next and he's already changed. Meanwhile, Dylan's growth as a character is dragging on for way too long. It's been over a year and we haven't really seen much. And that one should have been quicker. Not from one issue to the next, a huge change, but we should have seen a lot more from Dylan than we've gotten already. So yeah, once again, pacing's all over the place. I'm going to blame the editor on that, maybe, because Massiverse, at least Rogue's Son and Radiant Black, I believe, share the same editor. And the fact that there's pacing issues with both of them, even though there's two separate writers, I got to put the blame on the editor, probably. If it was me, yeah, I would have hammered in some of this stuff. Like, hey, this is taking too long. This is going way too fast. This one can be stretched out a little bit, a couple of issues. This one, like, you should be going quicker, dude. So, yeah, I'm kind of rambling about that. But yeah, okay issue. Like, I like some of the things that they're doing. Some of the story it seems like they're taking. And don't get me wrong. Like, I like the idea of... I hate Marcus as a character, but I figure he's going to come back at some point. So it would be nice if we see why he's the way he is and maybe get him and Dylan on the same page. Also... I knew Caleb was going to turn evil at some point, or at least he's going to have some kind of screw up that Dylan's going to take advantage of. I just wish it wouldn't have been so quickly. So there are things that this issue did that I liked, things this issue did that I absolutely didn't like, or I thought could have been way better. But that seems to just be the constant theme of Rogue's Son, is potential just kind of getting wasted. So yeah. Oh, well. There you go. There's Rogue's Son, issue number 14. Hope you enjoyed. What are your thoughts? Do you agree with me? Disagree with me? Are you enjoying the pacing of this? Do you like how it's been? Or do you agree with me that certain things need more time to develop and other things need to be developed a lot quicker? I'd like to hear your thoughts on that. But I hope you enjoyed. Hope to see you next time. Take care. Later. So what did you guys think of that video? I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys haven't already, please subscribe, hit that bell for a notification, leave a like if you enjoyed the video. And if you didn't enjoy the video, thank you for watching it this far, and I hope the next video is more to your liking. Feel free to check out the playlist that you guys see, and I hope to see you guys next time. Later.